Hello dear altos, welcome to my study. Hope you're doing okay in this strange time. I'm just going to run through Mendelssohn's O Rest in the Lord from Elijah to give you some tips about how best to prepare it for audition, the things I'm looking for, things you can work on, breathing and so on. First thing is it mustn't go too slowly, it must have a flow to it, and nor must it go too fast, something like this. Yeah, that sort of length of that sort of tempo, basically. The breathing is fairly standard and fairly obvious. So rest in the Lord. Happy for you to breathe after that if you want to. Happy for you to go through if you've got a more efficient phonation and can last. And he shall give thee thy heart's desires. Do not breathe after thee. That will be a black mark. Go through, okay? If you can't get through to the end of desires, you're taking it too slowly. In 9.9 cases out of 10. Rest in the Lord, breath, wait patiently for him, breath, and he shall give thee thy heart's desires. Again, go through after thee. I'm really looking for those two phrases. Tells me that your phonation is efficient or it needs some help. Of course, if you simply can't, then you won't. Yeah, and that's all right. If the rest of it is okay, that's fine. And he shall give thee thy heart's desires. So what we need from the start is a sonority. You're going in and out of chest range. Notice I haven't said register because it's not necessary for you to honk out all the C's. But you're going in and out of that range where the C's can be have a lot of chest component to them. Unless you're very sophisticated, probably not full chest. But I leave that up to you, yeah? And that will underpin when it goes higher. So it's got to have a roundness and a fullness to the phrase making. Rest in the Lord, wait patiently for him, and he shall give thee thy heart's desires. And I didn't take much of a breath, so I barely made it, yeah? But make sure you open the vowels cleanly. Heart's desires. And feed through into the vowels, yeah? Oh, rest in the Lord. I'm looking for legato, and the melisma is on one vowel. Legato. And he shall give thee thy heart's desires. Actually, I think probably 8 out of 10 of you will take a breath on thee there. Yeah. Commit thy way unto him and trust in him. Can you make the and trust in him imperative? Do something with it. Commit thy way unto him and trust in him. And do the same thing with this phrase. Find a different way of doing it. And trust in him. Breath. And debt not thyself because of evil doers. O rest in the Lord. Two things. I took a breath after self. That's fine if you want to. You don't have to, though. And crescendo into doers. So we have a quite strong mezzo forte, yeah? And then a diminuendo. Doers. Oh, rest. And then subito piano. Tiny little bit of time taken on the breath. So the descending phrase. Doers. Oh, rest. Timothy or Chris will give you a little bit of time there for a breath, yeah? But then more or less back in tempo. Rest in the Lord, wait patiently for him. And I want to see something different with the second phrase. less dynamic or more articulation of the text, wait, patient, stressing of certain syllables, I leave it to you. Back to the recapitulation then. Patiently for him. So it's usual for the second patiently to slightly ritardando into the return to the main theme. Wait patiently for him. Now rich and sonorous. Rest in the Lord. Wait patiently for him, and he shall give thee thy heart's desires, and he shall give thee. You would have spotted that I put an and instead of the he that's printed, and that's the thing that many soloists do. It's a better vowel, or I find it a better vowel, but if you want to do he, that's also fine. Okay, it's just an option. I breathed after give thee thy heart's desires in order to sustain the crescendo, and also because I haven't warmed up this morning and my focus is not very great, so I don't have a very long breath just yet. So I hope that's clear. You have to sustain your crescendo, and if that takes taking a breath after thee, that's fine. And then you've got a lovely torzando on and or he. Must have legato. Give thee. Must. I do not want to hear give thee. It's like being in the chicken yard. And he shall give thee thy heart's desires. And he shall give thee thy heart's desires. Notice that I took a breath the second time after thee, because I knew I was going to slow down a fraction, and I wanted to end the phrase really well. As I say, breathing or not breathing is entirely up to you. What's important is that you accomplish the phrase successfully. Then the coda. Rest in the Lord, which should be either louder or softer than this next phrase. Rest in the Lord. Breathe. No, I haven't frozen. Wait should be your watchword there, okay? It's a cadenza, kind of. Do a messa di voce, crescendo and diminuendo on the C. And do not rush on. Hold the C and end it beautifully. And then do not go at double tempo. Wait patiently for him. A number of times I've heard people wait patiently. It's like, no, stick to the tempo. Do not rush. On the contrary, draw it out if you can, and it's perfectly fine to breathe after patiently. So the ritardando really, it happens where written, but the bar before, there should be a pause on the C, and then a good breath. Yeah. Hope that's been helpful. I'm now going to play it along. I might sing it occasionally in various registers to give you something to practice too, okay? Forgive any wrong notes. Nice, rich, womanly sound. Rest in the Lord, wait patiently for him, and he shall give thee thy heart's desires. myself because of evil doers. Rest in the Lord, wait patiently for Him. Wait patiently for Him. Rest in the Lord, wait patiently for Him, and He shall give thy heart's desires, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires. Oh, rest in the Lord. Oh, rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. You've noticed also that I extended the last note just a bit, just a bit. I don't think Felix would worry that too much. Make sure it's not him, him, with a nice umlaut formation. Good luck, enjoy, good, wonderful singing to you, and blissful music making.